everyone. I'm here in the art room again. I'm so happy to be in the art room, but it does feel a little strange to be here without you. I miss you all very much, and I hope that we can be together again soon. So this project is, I'm calling it the Egg Carton Challenge. I'm challenging you to make as many mask type faces with one egg carton as you can. So gather the materials on your list, get your workspace set up, and we'll get started. All right, so hopefully you've had a chance to look at some of the images that I gave you a link for. These images just give you some ideas of what you could do with your egg carton. Of course, if you have more than one egg carton, you're welcome to use it. The cardboard kind works a lot better than a styrofoam one. Helps you to glue and just doesn't rip as easily. You can also use materials that you might have around the house. For example, a toilet paper tube or a paper towel tube, or even some little Dixie cups that are paper. You might even find other things that you have around the house that you want to use. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is figure out what you want to use for the head shape. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this apart. So I can use one of these flat areas for my head shape, and this one may be used for facial features. Okay, so if this is going to be my head shape, I'm not going to use the whole thing. So you could draw on it if you want to kind of figure out maybe where you want to cut, kind of give you an idea of where you might want to cut. Go for it. So I kind of have a little guide. So first I cut down the side, and I'm going to make kind of a rounded edge here. Then I'm just going to cut down the side to meet it there. Okay. Now I'm going to angle these sides just so it can kind of blend a little bit up into there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, you can make your facial features however you want. Please don't feel like you have to make yours just like mine. Okay. All right. So I've got some scraps there. Now I want to maybe think about using this part of my egg carton. I have these things sticking up, have those interesting shapes. If I turn it over, I can see what I have to work with. Maybe I could cut those. First thing I'm going to do is probably just cut this strip off. I can maybe use that for something. Maybe I could use those for eyebrows or something later. So this is really a challenge because you are using your imaginations and trying to figure out how you could use certain materials and what you might want to use them for. Okay, so you could kind of play around with ideas, see what they can do. Can they bend? Can they move? Do I want to use this for eyebrows, a smile, things like that? How do I want to be able to attach things on? So all of these are great ideas, or great ways for you to kind of figure out what you want to do. So I kind of think that might be something kind of fun. Maybe I could use that for a mouth. Okay, so I'm going to be thinking about that. Next thing I'm going to do is just start to cut this up so I can play with materials and ideas. So I'm just going to take one of these and just use my scissors and cut off the top of one of those. And then I could kind of play around with it and see what I could do with it. That one is kind of fun. I could turn that into a nose maybe. I'm going to go ahead and cut two of these off and trim around the edge. Think about making these eyes, perhaps. They seem like natural eyes to me, anyway. Okay. they kind of aren't fitting in so great. So that means I just might have to trim a little bit off the sides on each side. And so there's going to be some problem solving involved in this, huh? Trying to figure out how to make it stay and touch the ground, because you will be gluing your items in, figuring out how that's going to work. Okay, so here I have this paper tube. What if I cut that, little strip off that, and so a lot of this is going to be kind of experimenting and seeing, what could I do with this? What do I want to do with it? What do I want to make this? Do I want to make this a mouth? Do I want to cut it in half and make these eyebrows? What could I do with this? Okay, so far I've got pretty good mass going, and I've only made a few cuts. Okay, I want to think about adding some ears, so I'm going to use this tube again, cut another strip off, and I'm actually going to do that twice so I can make ears, one ear on each side. Okay, so I think that looks good. Now I'm thinking about adding maybe something that would look or resemble hair up here. So thinking about how I want to add something up there, and what could it be? Well, this hat already is curled, so if I cut a strip and then cut this in half, I might have like something that curls. Maybe that could kind of be glued behind there, and those could curl. Could kind of glue them, figure out how I want to glue them so they curl. So I could do that several times. That could be an idea. So I already have a natural kind of three-dimensional curl to them that I like. Okay. So maybe I'll have 4 of those. All right. So I've started to kind of get a feel for where I want to glue things. I still kind of think I might want to have eyebrows up there. So I'm going to go ahead and figure that out. I remember I cut this off and I wanted to use it for something. These aren't very bendy. They have like sections, so they're kind of, I don't know if these are going to work or not. Well, I know I could use this. Or I could try to make this work. Let's see here. Maybe I could use this section like that, one bump out and one bump in as an eyebrow on each side. See if that would work. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and fringe the bottom. Fringing means you're just cutting a little cut, and then when you bend these back, it really gives the glue something to stick onto, and it also allows you to kind of bend a little bit. Okay, so do the same thing on the other one. And I might have to shorten these to make them fit. And I'm going to go ahead and fringe this one too. Now, I thought it also might be fun, after these were glued and dried, it really could be fun to paint these. So if you have paint at home, acrylic would probably be the best, but if you don't have acrylic, watercolor would probably work too, or you may even be able to use markers. So I'm trying to see how those would fit inside there. I think I have to shorten this one there to make them both fit. Kind of shape those in there like that. Okay. So what do you guys think? Think it looks pretty finished? It's got a lot of elements happening. It's got a definite facial expression happening. So now I'm going to glue. So I'm just using school glue, Elmer's glue. You could use a glue stick if that's all you have, but you would probably have some trouble with things falling off. So at this point, I'm gonna probably glue this. You notice I have newspaper underneath in case the glue drips. Definitely have something to protect your table. And I'm gonna just let this dry for several hours after I glue it. I'm not gonna try to lift it up or move it anywhere. I'm gonna leave it just how it is. So my first mask is complete. I've got a really fun face. I'm making sure everything's really well attached so that when I let it dry, I know everything will be stuck down. So I still have this part left and all this left. So if you have time, I would encourage you to make another face that would, they could be hung next to each other, or they could be a pair. So you could use this and make another facial feature out of all of this stuff and your scrounge materials and your imagination. Some of you might have materials at home like feathers or beads, yarn, that you could also add to your mask to embellish it. So these are a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy making these three-dimensional masks, and I will see you next time.